That afternoon, the Glasgow sky was a light gray, a thin veil covering the tranquility of the old town near the banks of the River Clyde. The wind blew through the trees, carrying a chill typical of late autumn, and the last rays of light seemed to fall to the ground with their own pride. Caitriona Balfe stood by the window, her hand gently holding a warm cup of tea, her blue eyes sinking into a long silence, where memories and reality always intersected in contradiction. Today was her 46th birthday, a number big enough to look back on everything that had happened, but also gentle enough to start a new chapter. And strangely, in all those endless thoughts, only one person appeared clearly and painfully. Sam Heughan. His name echoed in her mind like a familiar call from a memory that never faded. 10 years of working together, 10 years of building a common world on screen, 10 years of sharing things that could not be said to anyone else. All revolved around an invisible string that bound them both warm and perverse. But never, not once, Caitriona dared to admit to herself that her feelings had gone beyond the limits of colleagues. Until today. In Caitriona's desk drawer was a letter. The paper had begun to turn slightly yellow. The handwriting was gentle and curvy, but a little shaky. Sam, there are things I want to say, but I never found the courage. She had written that letter in 2019 after an extremely emotional day of filming on the set of Outlander. At that time, they had just filmed the scene where Jamie and Claire reunited after so many years apart. The emotions between them were so real that it made the whole crew fall silent. And when the shoot ended, her heart kept pounding. That night, in her small apartment, she wrote that letter. But then the next morning, when she saw Sam, saw him smiling intimately as always, saw their relationship still as stable as calm water, she hid it. She was afraid that just one word of admission would break the beautiful balance they had maintained for so long. She chose to be silent. This year, when Outlander was about to end a long journey, the whole crew gathered at a resort in Scotland to celebrate. The atmosphere that day was warm and bustling with laughter. But amidst many happy moments, Caitriona felt a strange sadness in her heart. She realized that when the movie ended, there would be no reason for her and Sam to see each other often anymore. The two stood side by side outside in the garden, where yellow lights cast a glow on the blooming rose bushes. Sam was wearing a charcoal wool coat, his face bright, but his eyes were thoughtful. Kate, he said her name softly. This moment is hard to describe, isn't it? So hard that it scares you, she said, her voice low. Afraid of what? She hesitated. She wanted to say that she was afraid of losing him, that she had gotten used to just turning around and seeing him there, that whenever she was tired or sad, just hearing his voice made everything okay. But it all flashed through her mind, then faded. Instead, she just said, afraid that everything will change. Sam was silent for a long time. Then he stepped closer, his voice low and sincere. You know, there are things in me that have been in my heart for a long time, but I've never had the courage to say them. Her heart clenched so hard that she had to turn away to hide it. But no matter what, he continued, you're still the most important person to me on this journey. The words made Caitriona's heart tremble. In that moment, she knew, if she didn't say it today, she would regret it for the rest of her life. But she still didn't. Until this morning. Her phone buzzed as the first sunlight filtered through the curtains. Sam called. She smiled slightly, pressing the answer button. His voice rang out, warm as always, but a little strange today. Happy birthday, Kate, he said. Are you busy today? I want to take you somewhere. Where are you going? She asked, curious. Just go and see. An hour later, Sam picked her up outside her house. He drove her to Loch Lomond, the setting for many scenes in Outlander. The calm water reflected the clear sky, and the wind blew through the trees like a song of memories. As they stood by the lake, Sam suddenly pulled a small box from his pocket. Caitriona jumped, her heart skipping a beat. She didn't understand what was happening. He opened the box. But inside was not a ring, not jewelry, but a small silver key. This is the key to the cabin I just bought. Sam smiled. A place for the people I really want to keep by my side. She was silent, her breath caught in her chest. Sam, what are you talking about? He took a deep breath, his blue eyes staring straight at her, hiding nothing. I want you to know that no matter where our lives go, whether the movie ends or not, I still want you in my life. Not just as a co-star. She felt his words like warm water flowing through the void that had long been unfilled. And then, for the first time in 10 years, she opened her heart. Sam, she said, her voice choking, I've loved you for so long that sometimes I forget when I first fell in love. He froze. His expression went from surprise to emotion in a matter of seconds. She had never seen his eyes so bright. Kate, he stepped closer, squeezing her hand gently. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Because I was scared. She smiled sadly. Afraid of losing what we had. Afraid of everything collapsing if just one of us felt differently. Are you scared now? She looked into his eyes. There was a sincerity so deep in them that all her fears melted away. She shook her head. No. Because I'm here. Sam reached up and gently touched her cheek, a gesture he had done hundreds of times when acting, but today was completely different. It was more real, more naked, and more affectionate. He leaned down and whispered, I've waited so long for this moment. Caitriona felt her heart bloom, like a summer flower. All the years of silence, of omissions, of invisible fears suddenly became small before this moment. She pressed her hand against his, smiling softly. Me too, Sam. He held her close, a long, slow, sincere hug. As if time had stopped to witness two souls finally finding each other after so many years. That afternoon, they sat by the lake, telling each other things they had kept inside for years. She told him about her fears, and he told him about the times he wanted to say them but was always held back by invisible barriers. They both laughed when they realized they had fallen in love with each other in silence. As the sun began to set, dyeing the sky a brilliant orange, Sam took her hand. Kate, he said, the only thing I'm sure of is, I don't want to lose you again. She leaned her head on his shoulder, her heart as light as if she had just released the burden of many years. Me too. The wind blew, carrying the scent of wet grass and lake water. A rare peace, as if the whole universe today was favoring the two of them. And in that moment, Caitriona understood that at 46, she had not only found the truth of her heart, she had also found the courage to live it. Theirs was not a love story of explosions or loud noises. It was one of understanding.